Hi there, I'm Susie Harrison, Commercial Editor of IoT World Today. In this Experts in IoT interview, we're going to unpack the secrets to simplified IoT connectivity with Airgain. Brian Critchfield, Airgain VP of Sales and Marketing, joins us to provide insight into leveraging certified cellular embedded modems, customized asset tracking, and antenna solutions to simplify your connectivity. Airgain provides advanced antenna technologies used to enable high-performance wireless networking systems. So hi, Brian, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So let's dive right in with our conversation. What are end-device carrier certified modems, and how can they unlock efficiency and savings for organizations?
It's a good question to start with. What's interesting about Airgain is, we've been around for 20 years in the business. We've purchased a couple of companies and kind of mashed all of these different product lines together. And now we have a very broad product line, which I think is very unique with us. It's a unique position we have in the marketplace. But as one of those pieces that we were able to pick up through acquisitions is this idea of an end device certified modem. The common thread throughout everything that we do at Airgain is about simplifying wireless connectivity. As we all know, wireless can be very complicated. I think, most engineers will tell you it's black magic. I'll let somebody else figure that out, and, I'll tackle the piece that I'm good at. So what we've done is across the board, we've really tried to simplify everything. And I think our modems are a great example of that. So what we do is we take a module from a Sierra Wireless or a Telit or a Quectel, and with those modules, they come pre-certified. But the challenge is once you actually build a product and you put the module in it, you have to get that product certified through the carrier as an end device. What we do is we take that module, we put it on a board, we put enough electronics in that board that we can get our modems end device certified. What that means, if you use our modem, you plug it into your project, you don't have to go through that carrier certification process. That saves thousands of dollars, saves months of time, so you can get your product to market a lot quicker. So that, I think, is one simple example of how we're able to simplify wireless connectivity and help you bring products to market faster. It's not, there's no, magic in it whatsoever. It's just helping kind of iterate and take the product kind of closer to a finished good type product. So I'd say that end device carrier certification is one key thing. But then in addition to that, we have our standard 20-pin connector that you put on your board, and that's really all you need to do. All of the RF design is in our modem, so you don't have to put any RF on your board. If you want to switch from a Sierra module to a Telit to a Quectel, you can do that. Keep the same 20-pin connection on your board. So that future-proofing concept, all of that really simplifies things. So that I think the end device certified modems is a great example of how we're able to simplify wireless.
Right. And are all asset trackers created equally? And if not, how do I know what solution best fits my need?
Sure. Asset tracking, I was just on another webinar last week on this. Asset tracking is one of those highly fragmented markets. There's a lot of different technologies you can use for asset tracking. There's a lot of different ways that you can approach this. What we do with our asset trackers, number one, is they're cellular-based asset trackers, and we've chosen that technology for a reason. I'll give you an example. We have a customer in the rail industry who is using RFID as their technology of choice, and there's RFID and Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and cellular and satellite and a whole bunch of ways that you can do it. But they were using RFID. The challenge was they had to put sensors all along the railway to be able to sense as those tags came by. So with Bluetooth, RFID, Wi-Fi, you have to build your own network to be able to collect that data. With cellular, you just use the existing networks as they exist today. And so cellular-based asset trackers is where we've staked our claim. But then in addition to that, we're not just doing location monitoring, which is kind of the main use case for asset tracking is where is it? We're also doing condition monitoring, which is not just where is it, but what's it doing and what's the condition of it at the time. And so we build sensors in like humidity, temperature, tilt, accelerometer, motion. We build all of these sensors in to really sense the condition of that asset at the time. And so when it comes down to asset tracking, there's a lot of options. It's very fragmented. We kind of find this unique niche in anything that you need to track indoors, outdoors, and through transit through that entire life cycle. We feel like cellular is really the best technology for that. And our device is highly ruggedized, over 10-year battery life on most of our devices. We feel like we're able to do a very good job of that. The other piece to this too is that our asset trackers are what we call software agnostic, meaning that we don't come with this full stack of software that's vertically focused that will solve every problem in that vertical. We say, okay, what's the dashboard that you want to use? Or do you have your own supply chain management or ERP system? We can plug into that. So we play well in the sandbox too, as well. And I'd say that that's something that's pretty unique about what we do with asset tracking.
And do I have to choose my IoT product's antenna in advance, or is there a way to design my product first and still be able to optimize overall performance if the antenna is chosen later?
No, you can choose your antennas at any point along the way, but at the same time, I would say you generally have kind of two main options. Do I want my antenna inside the device, or do I want it outside the device? I'd say that's kind of an early decision that you've got to be able to make. But then beyond that, if you're doing how we got started 20 years ago at Airgain was in embedded antenna design. So we would work with major mobile network operators and just local, operators, and we would design their routers and their gateways and the antenna systems within those. And we'd come and we say, not only here's your antenna design, but we'd run it through our test houses, and we'd come back and say, and you need to move your power supply, and you need to do this differently, and you need to rearrange your board this way, and really kind of come in with that trusted advisor approach. So in that situation, I'd say that decision probably needs to be made early on. If you're just going to slap an antenna on externally at the end, it's really simple to go, okay, which one of these is going to deliver the best signal possible? But I'd say antenna probably needs consideration early on in the design, because that's the last mile, as they would say, right, of getting the signal out of the device.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Brian, and for enlightening us on this. I'm Susie Harrison from IoT World Today, and thank you for joining us, Brian from Airgain.
Thank you too.